Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge Review. Samsung's Galaxy S6 Edge was a masterclass in desirability. What did its curved screen do? Not a lot. How much extra would you have to pay for it? Around £100 on contract. Did we want one? Absolutely. The same goes for Samsung's Galaxy S7 Edge. As the successor to our gadget of the year 2015, its core concept remains unchanged. It's basically the Galaxy S7 for really ridiculously good-looking people. Sure, there's more to life than aesthetics, but not much more. To that end, the S7 Edge is bigger and bolder than ever before. It takes the best smartphone you can buy and dolls it up that bit extra. This flagship Galaxy is rocking a larger screen and battery than its cheaper cousin, and you can do even more with its audacious curves. Last year's S6 Edge suffered a little from sidekick syndrome. It was the Givenchy-clad Chewbacca to the S6's populist Han Solo. That's why the S7 Edge is more of its own beast this time around. For starters, it's got a 5.5-inch display compared to the S6 Edge's 5.1 inches version, which lends the handset a greater feeling of luxury. Whether you're slumping into a late-night Netflix session or browsing the Forbes billionaires list, this phablet-sized touchscreen lures in your eyes like a retina-attracting magnet. It's got the same 1440 by 2560 pixels resolution as the standard Galaxy S7, which technically means fewer pixels per inch. You get a mere 534 pixels per inch compared to 577. Unless you're obsessed with screen fidelity, you're unlikely to notice the difference. La Liga YouTube highlights of Gadget vs Sevilla looked impressively bright and detailed, while text on this website is sharp and easy to read. Phenomenal stamina. If you're looking for practicality from the S7 Edge, then there is one area where it truly excels. With a huge 3600 mAh battery, this Galaxy gives you more power to draw on than both the Nexus 6P and OnePlus 2, while it absolutely trounces the 1715 mAh Apple iPhone 6s for stamina. It also has a greater capacity than the 3000 mAh S7, and that handset is hardly lacking for longevity. Whereas the S7 gives you a day's worth of usage and some extra time, depending on how much pummel it with video and games, the Edge goes the extra mile. Having grabbed this Galaxy from its charging lead at 8 a.m. on a Saturday, it was still trundling on with over 10% at 3 p.m. the next day. That's despite my using the Edge in a more intense way than most people regularly would, to test its camera and processor. See Power to Spare. So, like the Galaxy S7, the Edge is most concerned with practicality. And like the Galaxy S7, it has a monstrous processor. Seriously, run any standard task through the Edge and this smartphone will chomp right through it. In our Geekbench 3 testing, it scored a huge 6,497 for multi-core performance, making it pretty much the most powerful handset you can buy. That's all down to the ferocity of the Exynos 8890 processor and 4GB RAM the Edge is rocking. US and Chinese owners of both S7s will enjoy a Snapdragon 820 chip instead, but we predict that few people will notice the difference between the two. Even when running a graphically intensive game such as Asphalt 8, the Edge doesn't suffer from a jot of slowdown. Nor will it get hot under your thumbs. Samsung has introduced a new water cooling system in both S7s, and the result is that the handset is never uncomfortable to hold. Storage issues. The Edge is similarly reliable when it comes to its operating system. Running on the slick Android 6.0 Marshmallow with Samsung's TouchWiz UI overlaid on top, the Edge gives you plenty of choice in how you want to customize it. You can use Samsung's array of widgets, such as the new Game Tool software, or you can dispense with almost all of them for a pure Android experience using Google's Now launcher. Even though TouchWiz is nowhere near as cluttered as it used to be, I'd recommend doing this to give you an OS experience that's as clean and streamlined as the Edge's curves. Of course, the downside to being able to jump between both Samsung and Google's apps at will is that you'll find a fair bit of the S7 Edge storage taken up as soon as you first turn it on. After loading up my usual gamut of Android apps on the Edge, I was left with 16.7 gigabytes of its 32 gigabytes. Lights out, all out. Galaxy phones have long been famed for their cameras, and the S7 Edge is no exception. Its rear-facing snapper has been engineered to take particularly great photos in low light, even more so than Galaxy S6, which was no slouch for them in the first place. We'd forgive you if you don't believe us. After all, the S7 Edge's snapper has in one sense been downgraded from that on the S6 Edge, with only 12 megapixels rather than its predecessor's 16. But don't be downhearted. The individual pixels are bigger to capture more light, while AF 1.7 lens aperture has been designed with the same end goal. Add to this optical image stabilization for longer exposures in low light and dual pixel autofocus for better focusing in the same conditions, and you get the picture, right?